Guys, welcome back to the channel. So this week we've got a big launch of several new products.
Exciting stuff.
Yep, from the Srixon line, a brand that over the last probably 3 or 4 years has really catapulted into the spotlight as a real player in the equipment industry. They were very specific in their influence in the Japanese market and in Asia for a long time.
Right.
Then about 2014, they launched the 745 and the 545 iron lines, and they slowly grew some popularity, and people were trying them. And in stores like this, we were getting them in people's hands and seeing incredible results.
Right.
So over that 2-year cycle, of the product, we then got the 765 and 565, which everyone knows we love that in the channel.
Yep.
So it's really exciting for us. So the new line for next year has just launched. Actually, today's the first day we're allowed to talk about it.
Yep.
So we have a bunch of products to test,
including the new hybrid.
Yep.
That's the first on our list.
The Z-H85.
Right.
So we've like I even mentioned there, the popularity of the brand has really been based on the success of the irons.
The irons, yeah, definitely.
So I think that has been something where Srixon have looked at it like, okay, we have only upside to have a successful set of or a wood line as well. The irons are going to be successful. They've already got the public's sort of confidence and that sort of stuff. But the woods, if they can make a wood line that's performs, then they're also going to really make a big dent in the equipment market.
Well, it's brand loyalty will play a factor for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Think. And the irons are fantastic.
Yep.
Like I'm playing them myself, and we could have obviously chosen just about anything for me. And your customers are no different. They can choose whatever they want. But you sell a lot of those sets.
We sell a ton of those irons. Probably,
and they're so good, right?
Yeah. I mean, our number probably, as I say, 2 of our top 3 best sellers in the store this year have been the 565s and 765s, right. And the other one that we've sold a lot of is the P790. Done really well with that one as well. So, to have the 2 irons covered or offered by that company in our top 3, it speaks volumes when you have access to basically everything.
Every single thing you could want.
Yeah, so it covers a real wide range of players. So we were really excited. Srixon were really kind to drop off the full lineup of the 85 range.
We got a big staff bag behind us full of stuff.
So we've got a busy day ahead of us. So we just said to Matty, okay, test the hybrid. Yeah. Let's see how the numbers stack up. It looks good.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
I've never tried any Srixon woods whatsoever. So I think it'll be cool for it because it's kind of like what we see with Mizuno. Like Mizuno's irons are so successful and so nice.
Yeah.
And they've recently, you would say, kind of started getting really nice wood offerings out there.
Definitely.
And I think you're seeing people really pick up on them as a contender. I kind of see that being maybe the story with Srixon as they develop these lines.
Yeah, exactly the same thing. I mean, let's not mistake what's going on though. This is not a play for the number one company in golf by any means. You've got TaylorMade, Callaway, Ping, and Titleist. That is the A flight. That's the championship flight.
Right.
Everyone else, Mizuno and all these other guys, in terms of they're running their own race.
Right.
So this is to be a contender in the other race that. I know Nike used to try to win that race. Okay, who's number 5? Is it us? Is it Mizuno? Who's in there? Then occasionally you might have a standout product that kind of sneaks ahead, or maybe sneaks into, maybe I have a wood line or an iron line that's maybe slightly better than Ping or Titleist. That's who normally jostle for obviously position 3 and 4. But this is not where Srixon aren't go. This isn't a play to become the dominant force. In golf.
I mean, they're going to be a smaller market share company.
They are,
but. There's no doubt that they're capable of designing really good products. So we kind of want to find out today, are they going to be able to sort of get that way with woods at this point?
Some of you will know, some of you may not, a little bit about some of the other brands that are in the sort of company that is Cleveland Srixon Golf.
Right, Cleveland Srixon.
Yeah, so Zexio being the sort of premium brand to this have been hugely successful over the last few years. Specifically in the kind of senior golfers or kind of you know, perhaps into the ladies section.
Right.
Longer clubs, lighter, softer shafts.
Okay.
And you know, from a head design standpoint, they've actually got the DNA of a really quick head. So part of the kind of the launch of these new products was to take a little bit of the DNA out of Zexio, a bit of the speed away from that,
right.
and sort of, you know, put that into the 8.5 wood range, especially in the driver, which we'll actually cover in another video. But
it is right here.
A little sneaky peek. So that's where they're going with it. So this, you know, in Japan, they're really pushing this stuff hard.
Awesome.
To be a real player in the market in North America.
Shall we take a little look at the numbers?
Let's take a look at the numbers. So, well, let's start with kind of your initial impressions. What did you think? How did it feel?
Well, it looks really nice. I think from a top line perspective.
Yeah.
It's a nice compact looking head, not tiny though. Pleasing to the eye. It's nice and rounded, and I think a player's shape, but it's not so small that it would intimidate someone.
It's not intimidating. That's a good point. Yeah.
Looks wise from the bottom, I think it's sharp, little black and red color scheme.
Yeah.
Hitting them, the feel off the face is really good. Like it feels very fast and very sort of jumpy off the face. The sound is quite nice. Kind of reminded me of a little Titleist-like feel and look.
Interesting.
Maybe a little bit more active though on the face. The face feels a little bit more springy.
Quicker.
Yeah, which I guess is, as you said, what they're looking for.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised. Again, I've never tried anything from Srixon in a wood range, and I'd be happy to play that tomorrow.
Well, the numbers were pretty darn good. So ball speed wise, Matty was around 145.7, launching at average 12 degrees and 3,600 RPM to spin. When I saw these numbers starting to come together, the first thing I thought to myself was, these are kind of like 3-wood numbers.
Yeah. So
12 degrees of launch, 3,600 spin is kind of what someone would hit their 3-wood at. So for being a 19 degree, it's quite sort of penetrating in its ball flight.
Very nice ball flight, yeah. I'd imagine it'd be good into the wind as well, because you got a little bit less spin.
Definitely, and amongst the things that create elevation, you know, velocity, launch, spin, it's not like it went low. I mean, it still went at basically at 99 feet.
Average,
100 feet,
which is that number that you often look for at my speed to kind of be an ideal flight.
I'm kind of looking for that balanced ball flight, that mid trajectory that allows a good player to, you know, hit it slightly higher, slightly lower. So you've got, you know, you're comfortable maneuvering your ball flight. You know, to hit your stock hybrid at 100 feet, that's tremendous.
Absolutely.
You know, means you can hit it a little flatter if you need to, into the wind or off the tee. You know, you can flight it up a little bit if you got to stop it. Yeah.
So in terms of stopping power, it's got enough descent angle that even though the spin's a bit lower, we're still going to stop the ball nicely on a green. But it's a good tee club. I mean, I think you could use that as a nice little fairway finder. Knock it down to short par 4 and get in the fairway.
Hit it to the corner of a dog leg or something like that. So it's averaging 232 off carry distance and 238 total. So it's not rolling out a bunch.
No.
It's not rolling out a bunch at all. It's coming in at 42-degree land angle, and it's absolutely fine. Let's talk about some of the design characteristics and you know, maybe some of the reasons why, you know, so I saw the numbers, and you know, my first instinct is to, okay, why does that happen? What's going on? So they have a kind of crown step that's just behind the top line of the club. So actually there's a little section here that's a little higher, then the body of the club falls away a little bit. That's a technology that's used or has been used in the past. You know, what springs to mind is kind of Cleveland in the high bore line.
Remember those?
When they had obviously a tall front of the face, then it really fell away on the body. And what that does was it really adjusts the CG of the golf club. So it brings the CG down in order to launch it high and spin it less. So you know, if we kind of, you know, use the shaft here, so that, you know, if this is a center of gravity right here, okay, so say we have 50% above the head, 50% below the head in terms of the real estate of the head. If we move the CG lower, the purpose of that moving that CG lower is there's now, you know, 70% real estate above the CG, 30% below, so that we're going to get more vertical gear effect than sort of on tilt and lower spin than sort of de-lofting it with more spin.
Okay.
So we've got more surface mass above the CG.
Yep.
That's what creates high launch and low spin. So
Right.
that's the influence of adjusting, the CG vertically.
So we're trying to get more gear effect on the strike here, and
Yeah,
it's
not even so much that we're trying to. It's just, even if we strike it in the middle, if the like we said, if the CG is lower, even if you hit it in the middle, you're hitting it above the CG.
okay, gotcha.
Right?
So the middle of the face is above the CG.
Correct,
Gotcha.
correct, exactly. So that's what's going to create a little higher launch and a little lower spin, because the middle of the head is not where the actual, so it's where the geometric middle is, but not where the center of gravity is.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And we did see that there was a nice little spin reduction versus probably some other hybrids that we'd probably see over 4,000 spin.
Yeah.
So a little bit of probably a flatter ball flight and maybe a little bit more distance for most people.
Definitely. I was impressed with it. I think those numbers stack up really, really well. There's a couple of really quick ones in there that flew 240, 245 total. Yep. Really, really good. In terms of the offerings, the poor lefties don't get this option, but they actually do a 16-degree one as well, and
That's cool.
right-handed. So
that's very
for
cool.
players who maybe have that kind of struggle with the fairway wood, so think of the player out there, if this is you and you tend to drop kick fairway woods a little bit, they feel a little long all the time and you don't quite ever get that contact. A nice powerful little hybrid that is generally about 2¼ inches shorter is a great option.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, so that player who really struggles, hits their irons okay, but when it gets to that longer club off the ground, that they struggle a little bit, that 16-degree could come in handy, but curse to the left, they only offer it in right-handed.
This is the way it goes, right?
That's the way it goes. So 16 degrees, 19 and 22 are the three
That's
lofts.
Cool.
That
it's kind of like a one hybrid, basically,
Yeah.
the 16.
Yep.
Very cool.
It's very cool. So guys, really impressed with it.
Yeah.
We offer it here at TXG, the full wood line of the 85 range. We've got the new fairways on their way to us. We've obviously got the drivers, which we're going to review today.
Yes.
Really looking forward to seeing the numbers from that. So won't kind of spoil the punchline as to what we've heard from the testing on that stuff.
Tell us about the stock shaft, because this is a good offering,
It is a good offering, yes. Stock comes with the hazardous black shaft. Obviously, most people by now are very familiar with hazardous black. Really popular as an OEM offering, and it's quite a high quality one as well. So, 85 grams, low torque, 2.5 degrees of torque. This was the 6.0 that we tested today. So, another reason why we probably were getting a nice flat flight.
They have other offerings that would be suitable to a slower swing speed as well.
They'll have a slightly softer one. They'll have a kind of mid-range one, but this is the sort of probably the slightly stronger stock offering, which is great.
It's good to see something of that value, exactly.
Yeah. Definitely.
Awesome.
Excellent.
No, I think that's definitely a winner. For something that we literally took the plastic off 20 minutes ago, and I hit a bunch of shots, I was pretty impressed with it. The ball flight was nice. It felt great.
Wasn't it?
And it wasn't warmed up particularly well either, so the ball speed numbers, I think, were really good. It wasn't swinging super fast, and we're getting 147 on a couple of those.
You're not chasing it forward distance by any means, but it kind of had enough horsepower for you.
Absolutely. Great stuff.
Good, excellent, guys. Well, don't be afraid to, just because you haven't tried a Srixon in the past, to give this a try. If you're, at your pro shop or wherever you're at, whether it's a big box store, and you want to give it a try, definitely, compare this to what you've got, and I think a lot of people will be pleasantly surprised.
I agree.
There's no technology in there from an adjustable kind of. There's no adjustable hosel on it or anything like that. It's a glue-in. There's no adjustable weight technology, so it's kind of what you see is what you get with it. It's a fairly neutral biased.
It is neutral. I found that too.
Hybrid.
Yeah.
No, it's not draw biased by any means. So, which is quite good.
Awesome.
Excellent. Guys, give it a try. If you have already tried it, leave your comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And if you have any further questions, leave those also, and we'll be happy to get to those over the next week or so.
Sounds good.
Thanks so much, guys. Talk to you soon.